So I have a question about new product. You said that you all rely on trade magazines. Have you ever saw a new product that you're really excited about in a magazine and then you've gone to go purchase it and it's not available yet?
That happens all the time. It seems like the advertisement comes out and it's 5, 6, 7 weeks before the product even services. It's like a tease. You know, they just they spend a lot of money on the product and try to send it out, and you know it's not available.
Would you rather learn about that product right away, or would you rather wait until it's ready to launch it as a day?
Well, I'd like to read about it first before it's launched, but at least in that reading part of it, at least it's to let us know when they're planning on distributing it instead of putting an article out like it's already on the shelf. And most of the manufacturers do it that way.
That's one of the reasons we spend time attending trade shows, so that we can see emerging products oftentimes before they're released. But there is kind of a fine line between something that's right around the corner and complete vaporware that's 6, 7 months out, and then they miss that target. So it's great to learn about new things, but we would like to have accurate release dates. And I know it's not always possible, but that would definitely help.
And I would agree with the group on it.
Vaporware. I like that.
Hi, my name is Steve. John, you mentioned earlier that it was a challenge in the afternoon, the foreman call in to get the products and so forth. I'm curious not how the orders get to the distributor, but how do what they need in the field get to your office? How do they communicate that to you? Is it verbally? Is it on paper? And I'm curious with all three how they get that information.
We've got about 80% of it on paper right now, be it through computers, Excel spreadsheets, and an ability to mail email to the purchasing department. There's probably 20% of the orders that maybe a service truck, something smaller, it might be a different foreman that doesn't have the electronic devices to be able to do that. So that's how it's really coming in. We're trying to do away with the phone call and the leaving it either on our purchasing agent's voicemail or waiting on the phone and then rattling it off. 300 feet of this, 2 boxes of that. We're trying to make it all come in on in a document of some sort.
How do you guys do that?
We still do it with paper. During the daytime, it'll either be a phone or a text. And once again, the later in the day it goes, the harder it is to get the product to the job site the next day. We would try to get the supply houses, some of them do, some don't, to, even though they close their doors for people for walking in, to have maybe a few extra hours after closing time to at least take in orders and then get them so they can get released in the morning. So at least that next day you can get them, maybe a late morning or an early afternoon delivery.
We use online tools like Google Docs, Office 365, where it's more of a kind of a cloud-based shared repository for that information that needs to be disseminated between the members of our team.
She told me to stand up. Would you say that contractors have brand loyalty, and does it matter from the distributor standpoint, what brands they carry? Do you have brand loyalty, or is it all about the price?
My guys like to use certain brands, and they like to stay with what they call brand loyalty. But it's just like everything else. Manufacturers go out of business, and you have to start switching to different products, or they improve the products, and the product isn't as good as it was that we thought it was, and we move on to another product. We try to at least get the products that are going to be the least amount of time for install. So a lot of the companies have improved, listened to contractors and listened to the field installers to try to improve their products so you can stay brand loyalty. But, sometimes it doesn't work and you have to move on.
Our number one concern is reliability. So we're very loyal to those companies and manufacturers who have proven that their products can be implemented in a number of different scenarios. They work, and if there is a problem, it's almost a no questions asked, replace, return, repair policy. That's our number one concern above price, because we have, as a small company, we don't have the bandwidth to, as I mentioned before, continue to go out and fix defects in products. It just costs too much for us to do that. So I guess that is somewhat related to price.
Absolutely. I think what both you say, that you're telling us in the audience what that brand loyalty means.
Right.
And we really are service and relationship loyal. That's what we really try and do over a long period of time. And a distributor might rep or stock a different product at a different time as those products are moving around. We tend to stick with the distributor and that local loyalty more so than maybe a big manufacturer.
So then I had one other question. It's about mobile apps. We talked about those a little bit earlier, and you guys tended to focus on mobile apps as they related to purchasing. What about when you're in the field, things that, one of you spoke about, productivity, making the job go faster? Do you have apps that you use in the field? Is that important that they have those devices and can do maybe calculations or other apps that help them in their daily job? And any ideas of what you might need?
Well, we are using YouTube actually as our primary spot for these educational videos that you can find on an installation technique or a method, more so than a manufacturer's made app, I would think.
Instruction booklets and stuff like that, and like you were saying with the YouTube and stuff, that it helps out in the field, sometimes in troubleshooting. I said most of the time in troubleshooting and stuff, that you can see what's going on, or what the product, if the product's defective, or if it's the installation, or it's just that the product didn't work. So the YouTube ad and access to outside sources to troubleshoot the product is.
I think you meant TED TV, but I'm just prejudiced. Yeah. It's the new YouTube. We have one last question. I'm sorry, we're running out of time.
One of the things that we've been talking about yesterday, and then we have some sessions this afternoon, deals with social media. Do you guys use social media? Do you have things in place for your employees and how they can use social media, interacting with distributors, manufacturers, or anything like that?
Great question.
We do not really yet. No, we might have a Facebook account. We've got our marketing guy that might keep some of those things semi-marginally updated, but no. we are not.
Semi-marginally, I like that.
That's the same. We have a Facebook account, but we're not really into it as much.
You keep it with all the QR codes and the dial-up modems in the back.
The social
Jeff?
part of it.
Yeah, we have a presence, but we have not been able to utilize it probably as much as we should.
So you don't use distributors' social media sites for any, or manufacturer social media? No.
Just the web, yeah.
Just YouTube.
Right.
Well, we went over. I'm sorry. But I want to thank you guys for coming. We could probably do this for an hour. Thank you.
Thank you.